nigga, don't mind my man.
It's the Sport Kings, better than diamond rings. Football, Wildcats, football, Wildcats, football, Wildcats, football, Wildcats, football, Wildcats, football, Wildcats, football.
Welcome to the Married with Picks podcast, season 6, episode 7, week 7. So I don't know about you, Steve, but I've been on a roll the last 3 weeks. How'd you make out last week?
I did pretty good last week, but I had a better record the week before.
Okay. What? You gotta move
Just getting some more
closer
music
to the mic.
Oh, okay. Is that
I
better?
thought I lost you for a minute there. All right. So
Yeah.
this week,
What week is this?
7.
What season?
What does that mean?
Usually you go
Football.
season.
I already did that.
I was asking, so I asked you what
Season
season.
6, episode 7, week 7. Okay. So we
Can't deviate from a script, can you?
No, I actually have to write it down. So listen, this week we do have some weather concerns. So we'll get to those when we get to those games. And we do have 2 teams on bye, the Ravens and the Bills. First game is another London game. Like, personally, I don't like these international games.
I like them.
But they seem to have quite a few
I like
of
waking
them
up and there's a game on.
this year.
Especially when the game's like,
But they're all like terrible games.
well, that's what I want. I just want a game that I can like half-ass cook breakfast to. It's not like, you know, 4 o'clock type of matchup. I mean, like the Rams, Jags, like, all right, whatever. But there's football on. It's perfect. It's not
right.
too appetizing of a matchup.
So the Rams are favored by 3 points. Now I always
And I
like,
don't want my team playing in that game. You know what I mean? Like my team played in that game once, and it sucked.
yeah, like, I don't know, make the Lions and the Bucks go over there.
Yeah.
Not the Rams and the fucking Jaguars. Anyway, all right. So I always like to look at the travel situation with these games too. Now, the Rams played in Baltimore last week. They actually stayed in Baltimore and practiced at Camden Yards. Okay. They flew out Friday, today, after practice. Meanwhile, the Jags flew out on Tuesday morning and practiced in London all week. The Jaguars do have more experience with this international stuff because they seem to play there every freaking year. But I did hear on the radio that Sean McVay has played 2 of these and he's fared pretty well in them. I don't know if staying in Baltimore, renting out Camden Yards, and then flying out late is a good idea, though.
It saves you, if it's 5 hours from LA to the East Coast.
Well,
It's 5 hours from the East Coast to London.
Well, I know, but I think you
So I think it's
should
smart.
leave earlier and acclimate. And Friday, like late in the day, seems like really late to fly out. Now the Rams will be without Puka Nacua this week. And I'm just going to play the experience factor here and take the points with the Jags.
I was leaning towards the Jags, but then I remembered the Jags suck and they can't beat a good team, especially with defense. Because I'm starting to put a little bit into like Puka Nacua not playing, and he really does mean a lot to that offense. Obviously, the guy's probably the best receiver in the league, but I think with Sean McVay can scheme up a game plan that can beat the Jags. I'm still not sold on the Jags. I know they've been playing well lately, but I mean, their big signature win came over Kansas City, who I'm not really too sold on that they're Kansas City of years past. I mean, I know they went to the Super Bowl last year, but they weren't dominating teams all year. And I think this is going to culminate into, maybe a 500 season for them. I'm not really that huge on Kansas City. We'll see what ends up happening. I'm not trying to go all that far down, but I'll tell you the Rams, I have a couple stats here that, help lead me towards the Rams. They're 6-0 against the spread in their last 6 versus Jacksonville. They're 11-3 against the spread in their last 14 games overall. So with 11-3 is really what I'm looking at more consistently. This version of the Rams, having covered 11 out of the last 14 games, pretty damn strong. I'm going to go Rams. -3.
Different sides of that one. All right, next game is the Eagles at the Vikings. Eagles are 2.5-point favorites. It sounds like it will be Carson Wentz at quarterback for the Vikings again. So this will be a revenge game for Carson Wentz versus the entire Eagles franchise who did him wrong. Now, I do worry about the current state of your Eagles and your quarterback facing Brian Flores' defense. Now, these teams did play back in 2023. Philadelphia won that game 34-28, but I think that was Flores' first season as the DC in Minnesota. So, not sure he had his defense rounded into form there. But I am not going to trust Carson Wentz, so I am going to take the Eagles here.
No, I mean, that's really what it comes down to. Is I'm going to take the Eagles as well because I can't trust that Carson Wentz is going to show up against the Eagles defense. You know that the Eagles are pumped up to play Carson Wentz and want to do him dirty, play good defense against them. But I can't pick the Vikings with Carson Wentz being the quarterback. I did hear a funny joke today. You want to hear it?
Sure.
They're playing in Minnesota, right? Which is the home of Prince, right? And we can finally answer the question, why are all the doves crying?
Why?
Because Carson Wentz keeps shooting at them.
I don't know what that means.
Carson Wentz is an avid hunter, and he shoots a lot of birds. So there was pictures going around a couple years ago with him posing in a photo with about 50 dead birds, and got a lot of slack.
Were there geese in this photo?
Got a lot of slack from it from the bird community.
Yeah, well, you know where I side on that one. All right.
The birds.
So yes, exactly.
I got another story. No, I'm not going to tell that one.
All right. So yeah, we're on the same side of that one. Next game is the Raiders at the Chiefs. Chiefs, when I put this together last night, the Chiefs were 11.5-point favorites. I think that is all the way up to 13. This is a division game. And back to 2021, the Raiders have only won once, and that was Christmas Day matchup last year. They won 20-14. Obviously, different version of the Raiders this year than past years. Raiders have been pretty bad. Geno Smith has been pretty bad. Chiefs historically not great at covering the big numbers. They are going to get Rashid Rice back this week at receiver. And they have been playing a little better the last few weeks. I am not going to take the Chiefs at this number. Maybe a good teaser play.
No, I mean, we kind of alluded to it. Talking about the Jags game, that I'm really not that high on the Chiefs, this 2025 version, but we'll see how it plays out. I am going against them as well this week because at the end of the day, it's just too many points for me to be comfortable with. Laying 11.5 in a division game. I know the Chiefs are at home, but it's still a tough one. The Raiders are 4-2 in their last 6 against the spread versus the Chiefs. So they play them pretty tight. They definitely cover. It's just too many points.
Okay. All right. Next game is the Saints at the Bears. Bears are 5.5-point favorites. So the Saints have played better at home this year. In their 2 road games, they lost pretty handily to Seattle 44-13 and to the Bills 31-19, although that was a fairly competitive game up until the fourth quarter. Bears are coming off their big win over the Commanders on Monday night, which I know I was on the Bears. I think you were on the Bears. It was painful to watch, but it did get there. I can't take the Bears as a 5.5-point favorite. And I don't know if you know anything about this, but I heard something and I didn't get all the details down. But Spencer Rattler apparently was like the favorite for the Heisman Trophy, and then something happened and Caleb Williams ended up like taking it from him. Does that sound accurate?
Well, probably headed into the season, but USC had the better season and Caleb Williams was big reason for it.
Okay. So
I
a
think
little
he deserved
bit
it.
of a revenge narrative there. I would lean Saints, but I don't know if I'll actually put any money on this one.
Yeah, I mean, it's probably a tough one to bet, but if you have to, I mean, I like the Saints too. It's just too many points. I don't feel comfortable with the Bears being 5.5-point favorites against anybody, right?
Right.
I mean, at least at this juncture of the season, offense is too.
Bears are very
too
much
soon.
like the Jaguars for me. It's very painful to bet them and watch.
Yeah. I'll give you a good stat too. New Orleans is 8-0 straight up in their last 8 versus Chicago. So they're getting points. That's a great stat for them, getting points in this situation. I think the Saints.
All right, so the next game is the Dolphins at the Browns. Browns are 2.5-point favorites in this one. Browns defense always seems to play much better at home. They should be able to run the ball pretty easily on the Dolphins. There is some drama. Well, I guess there's probably drama all year with the Dolphins, but I guess Tua called out like his teammates for not showing up on time for meetings. So kind of, I don't know, just maybe something you shouldn't say. And then this is the one game where the weather is supposed to be miserable. It's going to rain and be windy. So, I mean, it's very uncomfortable, but I'm going to take the Browns. And interestingly, there was a lot of like strong splits on the money when I looked it up tonight. And that's not usual. Like on a Friday, usually there might be like 1 or 2, but it'll kind of shift as the weekend goes on. So a lot of these games, and I'll mention them as we get to them, but 75% of the bets and 78% of the money is on the Dolphins. So I was leaning towards the Browns to begin with, and that helps me.
Yeah. I mean, like literally with the weather conditions, it's going to come down to like a smash mouth football game, right?
Yeah. And obviously, I mean, the Dolphins don't have Tyreek. They do have Devin A-Chain and want to run the ball. But if Cleveland doesn't want to let you run the ball, you're not going to run the ball.
That's what I feel like on both sides of the ball. The Cleveland's line is more physical, especially that defense is probably the most out of the 4 units, right? The 2 offenses and the 2 defenses between Miami and Cleveland, that the most physical is the Cleveland defense.
Yeah.
And I think that at home, that should translate over well with the rookie quarterback where, they're not going to win a throwing competition against Tua and the Dolphins. So with the bad conditions, you try to run the ball. It's soon enough for Cleveland. Again, 80% of the money right now I'm looking at is on Miami. Right. I'm going to take Cleveland as well.
Okay.
I don't like it. I mean, this is the game for me where it's like, probably don't bet it. But
well, it's hard to trust the Cleveland offense, but...
Yeah, Njoku, do you have any idea? Did you hear if Njoku's playing? I know he was injured at the end of the last game.
I haven't heard that he's not. We'll put it that way.
Okay. I'll try to look it up real quick while you're talking about the next game.
All right, so the next game is the Panthers at the Jets. Panthers are 1.5-point favorites. So here we have a situation like, should the Panthers be a road favorite? Question mark. They are 3-3 on the season with all their wins coming at home. So I definitely think there is an element for Bryce Young with the home road splits. The Jets are traveling back from London this week, and they are going to be, I believe, without Garrett Wilson. I'm not 100% that he's already ruled out. So I would lean Jets, but again, I'm not saying that I would put a freaking dollar on this shit show of a game.
All right, well, going back to the Cleveland game real quick, David Njoku has been ruled out for the matchup this weekend,
Okay.
So they won't have him. So moving on to the Jets game.
Fannin guy, right?
Yeah, the Harold Fannin guy, he's the rookie, who they like a lot. And he looks very athletic, so shouldn't lose much there. But I would say Njoku's a bigger, more physical guy. He's known for pass catching, but he can block better.
Yeah, well, he only ever did anything with Flacco, honestly.
Yeah. All right, well, on to the Jets, the Panthers and the Jets. I think that this is going to be a position where people are looking to go Panthers. So, after that big win, they're kind of trending up. But I think this is a spot in the schedule where they're both 1-5. Jets probably, are they 1-5?
No, both? Jets are 0-6. They're the remaining winless team in the NFL.
They are 0-6. My bad. Okay, well then even more so now because there's not a lot of wins on the calendar. I like this as the home dog favorite. I like the Jets.
Yeah, I think this is probably the game. because they looked really bad in London last week. And Justin Fields hasn't been running, which I don't know what's up with that.
He hasn't been running, and he kind of came off that injury last week, right? That was the first game back, I think. So he's getting the rust back off, but he should be back.
Was his second, but.
Yeah.
But all right, so we don't have to waste too much time on that one.
Yeah, Carolina on the road is not a recipe for success if you're going to gamble that way.
Next game is the Patriots at the Titans. Patriots are 7-point favorites. Now, this is the Mike Vrabel revenge game, which I love that narrative. I wish that Tennessee had waited to fire their coach, because that's another angle that I usually like to play, is the fired coach bounce. So that has me concerned a little bit. Now, Mike McCoy is taking over as the interim head coach. I don't know who he is, other than at some point he coached the Chargers, but that had to be quite a few years ago. Now, I have got to take Mike Vrabel in this revenge game narrative, because I love Mike Vrabel and I think he's a great coach, and I think Tennessee was stupid to let him go, and apparently they let him go because he didn't get along with the GM, and then they fired the GM anyway. So the Titans will be without Ridley this week. I mean, he's, I guess, their number one receiver. I'm not a Calvin Ridley fan either. Now, there could be potential for weather, nothing like too serious. I think the rain's supposed to move out. It could be a little windy, but keep an eye on that. Now, this does have me a little concerned, because 75% of the bets, 78% of the money is on the Patriots. I don't love the big number, but I'm going to do it. And I probably...
everything tells you to go Titans here, doesn't it? Other than your eye test from watching the games. I just don't like it's too many points. Patriots on the road. It's 7. That's a lot.
This is like their third road game, too, I think, in a row. Yeah. But it's Mike Vrabel going back to Tennessee.
Yeah, it's revenge.
And he's like a player's coach. The players love him, so they're going to want to do it. And they're definitely going to win. Are they going to cover 7? I will probably try to figure out something else to parlay with the money line with the Patriots.
To tease it, you mean?
Well, no, just a money line.
Okay.
A money line.
Oh, okay. I got you.
But put something, parlay the money line with some other.
Well, I was getting scared off the 7 points and starting to look at the Titans, and then I just kind of looked back at some of the Titans games, and I can't get to the place where they win this game for sure. So I think, why not 7 points?
It's going to be one of the
days. I think the Titans are that bad. They're probably the worst team, if not next to the Jets, the worst team in the league. So 7 points might not be that bad, especially when you look at the stats. Like New England's 4-1.
They're on top of the division.
Yeah, and they're 4-1 in their last 5 against the spread. They're 7-2 against the spread in their last 9 versus the Titans. That's the kicker for me. They're 7-2 against the Titans. So
the only way that the Patriots don't win this, if it just turns into one of those days where, they're throwing interceptions and their running backs are fumbling the ball, which they have a tendency to do. And I think you're going to know early if it's going to go that way. But if they're going to be on their game, then this should not be an issue. All right. So next game is the Colts at the Chargers. Chargers are 1.5 point favorites. Now, when I saw this, I thought, what's up with this line? So the Colts played at the Rams at the same freaking stadium in week 4, and the Rams were 3.5 point favorites in that game. Similar teams, Rams, Chargers, record-wise. So I definitely feel like Vegas is begging me to take the Colts, which means I'm going to take the Chargers. But apparently Vegas is getting what they wanted, because 82% of the bets and 88% of the money is on the Colts. So and after last week, because the Chargers was one of the teams that I lost because they won, but they didn't cover. So I was like, I'm done with the fucking Chargers. And then I see this. So I'm taking the Chargers all day on that one.
Yeah, I've explained in the last couple of podcasts, I'm very high on the Colts. I love the Colts this year. Daniel Jones having success in the Steichen offense did not surprise me one bit. However, this is a spot where the ebb and flows of the season and the schedule of the NFL that I think Indy's going to lose this game. I agree. It's almost 90% of the money is on Indy, only getting less than a field goal. This is 3-point game. Chargers win, written all over it. I'm taking the Chargers, and I like them a lot. Even though I'm huge on the Colts and bet them every week this year, this is the week where I'm going to go against them. They're 5-1. Colts are good, but I don't know if they're 6-1 good. And Chargers loss would put them down to 4-3. They're sitting at 4-2, so they're trying to stay pace with the other teams in the West that are sitting at 4-2 as well. I like the Chargers.
All right, same side of that one. All right, so next game is the Giants at the Broncos. Broncos are 7-point favorites. So this one is tough for me, too, because the Broncos were 7-point favorites last week over the Jets when they played in London. I was worried about the travel factor then. Now, and from what I understand, I've never traveled overseas, but it's the flight back is worse than the flight there. Or
it's the winds.
What do you call it?
The westerly winds.
No, but what do you call it? The jet lag or whatever.
Oh.
I'm not talking about the actual flight. I'm talking about like the,
No, well, the winds are blowing faster one way, and it takes like an extra hour, I think, to get back.
But I think it's more like the jet lag thing, the time zone changes. But anyway, that's what I've heard, that it's worse, the flight back, traveling back. So the Broncos were already kind of traveling a lot.
Who told you that?
I heard it on the radio.
Okay.
So anyway, I am a little bit concerned about the travel factor here, but the public is much like Brian Daboll, and they're in love with Jackson Dart. So I'm a little concerned. The Denver offense obviously hasn't kind of gelled so far this year as much as I would have hoped, but their defense is good, and this is another case where 76% of the bets and 73% of the money is on the Giants, so I will take the Broncos.
I like the Broncos too. I mean, this is too difficult of a position to ask the rookie quarterback and the rookie running back, for that matter, to go into Denver, playing at altitude and, gasping their breath. I mean, I think Scadaboo's from out there, or at least maybe played college football before he went to, was it Arizona State? So it's not going to be too new for him, but the Giants are not in the position where they're that good team yet. I mean, they've come off like a good win against the Eagles, but I don't see how they're going to go in. The 7 seems high, but to me, that's Vegas trying to get money on the Giants. Yeah, that was last week. That's last Thursday.
All right. So, yeah. And then this is kind of that spot. Big win. I mean, it was Thursday, so. But, yeah. All right. Yep.
These are the two teams that just beat the Eagles. Eagles won 4 in a row, lost 2. They lost to the Broncos and they lost to the Giants, and now they're playing against each other. I'll tell you that the Giants beat the Eagles more convincingly, but the Broncos are going to whip the shit out of the Giants this week.
All right. Next game is the Commanders at the Cowboys. Is it the Commanders are favored by 1.5?
Yes.
Oh, why did I think it was the Cowboys?
Because it's in Dallas.
So this is a division game. Cowboys have won 3 of the last 4. Washington's only win was week 18 of last year. I remember last year, really wanting to play this game because the whole angle of Dan Quinn was the former defensive coordinator for the Cowboys. But it didn't work out. I know. And the line was ridiculous because I guess Dak was hurt. It was like a 10-point spread, and I think they lost outright. And it was just one of those games where it just went south, and you just knew you were never. It
was one of the few games where you just talked me into
Yeah, it just didn't work. So anyway, and then it sounds like CD Lamb is going to be back for the Cowboys. McLaurin is officially out for the Commanders, and Debo was DNP at practice both Wednesday and Thursday, so he is questionable to play. Now, I was set. Originally I was going to take Washington, then I was set to just lay off this game because I feel like it just is going to go against me whichever way I go. But then I did note that 70% of the money and now, 70% of the bets, 82% of the money is on the Cowboys. So I'm leaning Washington, but I'm still a little wishy-washy.
It doesn't look like Debo's going to play. But I don't know that it's definitive.
He didn't do much last week, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that hurts the passing game, but it looks like Jalen Daniels.
Now you can run all over the Cowboys for sure. So.
Well, I liked the Cowboys originally, but now I'm thinking back to last year, and the Cowboys had the Commanders' number last year, right?
Well, I don't know that they had their number, but it was
covered both games, right?
Well, I know at least the game, and it wasn't the Week 18 game. It was the earlier matchup. I don't know what Week 18 had, but
the public is all over Dallas.
But it was I'm pretty sure they were like a 10-point favorite. I guess Dak was not playing, and the Cowboys went up early, and there was just never. I mean, there was absolutely never any chance that they were covering the spread. So, but yeah, so I don't know. I'm too wishy-washy on that game at this point.
I mean, the Cowboys are now. Well, we were just saying that the Cowboys are now favored.
Oh, okay. So I was right. Yeah. So I thought it was
it says Commanders.
The
but
Cowboys.
I don't know what to say there. Yeah. Cowboys
well, that makes sense. So at least the line is moving. In the favor.
Yeah, it opened up Commanders -2.5.
So.
Because that's all the money's going to Dallas.
Yeah, but it's one thing if the money's going there and the line's moving as a result. If the line is not moving and all the money's there, then that's when you know something's up.
It's a home dog, so if the money's going to be on the home dog.
So I don't know. I mean,
if the money's going to load up on the home dog, the line is going to move because they're the home team. Vegas loves the home team. Typically.
I would see where the money ends up closer to kickoff.
I think I'm going to flip on this game. I like the Commanders. I'm going to go Commanders instead of the Cowboys. I liked the Cowboys. Thought they'd bounce back here. After losing to Carolina, I had them last week, or I had them losing last week. I had Carolina.
Yeah.
I think you had Carolina too, didn't you?
I did.
So we both love that. So I was looking at this as like a bounce back week and the Cowboys win, but Commanders got this circled on their calendar for sure. I mean, this is the key rivalry. Like the Eagles love to play against the Cowboys or claim that's a main rivalry. The Giants claim their main rivals are the Cowboys, but the true rivalry is the Commanders or the old Redskins versus the Cowboys, obviously in the name. So I'm going to go Commanders this week.
All right. I mean, that was my gut. So I hate to change off my gut and then be wrong, but anyway, let's move on. Next game, Packers at Cardinals. Packers are 6.5-point favorites. So I definitely feel like the Packers, at least for me and maybe for others, got very overrated as a result of their Week 1 victory over the Lions. Their defense specifically. So I'm trying to put them kind of back down where maybe they belong. Their defense has not played great the last few weeks. Now, I don't know what the quarterback situation is going to be with Arizona. I would prefer it if it was Kyler Murray, but Jacoby Brissett obviously played well last week and gave them a chance. And I was on the Cardinals last week. But in general, I feel like with the Cardinals, the best approach for me is just go the opposite of what I would initially expect. And that seemed to have worked so far this year with the Cardinals. And I would prefer it actually probably to be Kyler Murray over Jacoby Brissett, even though my pick is the Packers.
Well,
because that just seems to be the way they are with Kyler Murray. Like when they play the teams that they should win pretty easily, they end up losing or not covering. And then they'll go toe to toe with a team that you don't expect them to compete with like they did last week. So this initially I would take the points and say the Cardinals can at least go back and forth with the Packers, but I'm taking the Packers.
We're on different sides here. I mean, I hate taking the Cardinals, and they're a frustrating team to watch. But the matter of the fact is that they play close games. They seem to be in close games like every week, just about. I don't know. I think being at home, 6.5 points
you're
against
in
the
close
Packers.
games with the Titans and who was the Week 1 team?
Because the Packers were after Week 1.
No, but that's not what it's about.
After Week 1, it was like almost thought of universally the Packers were the team to beat in the NFC.
Well, and did you ever listen? Because literally that's what I just said. That's how I started this whole thing.
Okay, am I allowed to make similar points?
Well, you should just agree with the point that I already made, not like make a point of your own, like you weren't paying attention at all when I made the point. That's
I'm
what
making it
comes
for
off.
a different reason. You're making it because you're taking the Packers because you think they're the greatest team. And I'm telling you, the Cardinals play everybody tight. And I don't care if it's the Titans, it's the Packers. And you're going down to Phoenix, it's going to be a tight game. I'm going to take Cardinals. 6.5 is too many points.
All right.
I hate the Cardinals. Packers are definitely a better team, but Packers have not proved much this year to me.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't proved that they can be consistently elite. Let's put it that way.
Well, and I don't know. I think
I'm not sold on the quarterback yet either.
Marvin Harrison left that game last week. Do we know what his status is this week?
No.
And obviously their running back situation is not ideal there either. But all right, moving on. Next game is the Falcons at the 49ers. So Falcons coming off their big win over the Bills on Monday night, which I was on the Falcons. I believe you were on the Falcons as well. Now they have to travel west to take on an injury-ridden 49ers team. That's pretty much par for the course every year with the 49ers. But obviously they already lost Bosa on defense for the year, and now they lost Fred Warner, who personally I really like Fred Warner. It sounds like it is going to be Mac Jones again at quarterback, and I kind of prefer him at this point to Brock Purdy. I believe they might get, what's his name? Kittle back this week.
Kittle is back.
And what's that say about Kyler Murray? Questionable?
Questionable.
Okay.
And Harrison is not listed on the injury report.
Okay. All right. So I guess he's fine. And this game, I think, just sets up where everybody watched the Falcons beat the Bills, and now they think the Falcons are great, and now they're going. They got to travel all the way across the country. They got to take on this team that's just losing people left and right. So 76% of the bets, 93% of the money is on the Falcons. And it's kind of, I mean, under better circumstances for the 49ers, I would love to take the 49ers. It's concerning because of all the injuries, but I think that's where you got to go.
I don't know, but Mac Jones has just proven that he can get this team, that they have enough talent that they can get this team going.
Now, the only thing that worries me, we watched the Monday night game, and I do feel like the Falcons got a lot of pressure on the quarterback. So that concerns me if they're going to get pressure on Mac Jones, because I feel like that was the difference last week for him. Like, he's not going to fare well if he's not getting some protection.
Doesn't this have like Monday night letdown written all over it? I mean, they're going across country.
Yeah.
The Niners are only a 1.5 favorite. 90% of the money's on Atlanta. This almost seems like a no-brainer.
And this is...
I'm taking the Niners, and this is probably my play. This is my play of the day. The 49ers load up.
This is Sunday night? Sunday night, right?
Is there 2 Mondays?
There's 2 Mondays. I'm surprised the Bucks and Lions... I was thinking Bucks Lions was Sunday, but okay.
I think this is load up time. I mean, it's the Niners, dude.
I know, but all the injuries, like...
Yeah, but they still got, like, Mac Jones is playing well. The Kittle's the best weapon they got, and he's coming back.
Well, I think the key for Jones, honestly, is Kendrick Bourne, and their
Bourne's playing
familiarity. Well. But they were together in New England, so they have that.
He's playing well. Ricky Pearsall's out. He won't be in there. But I think bringing Kittle back, I mean, I still like the Jake Toms guy.
Yeah.
And John Jennings.
I don't know if that's how you say it, but... Well, I don't know what's up with Juwan Jennings, because I guess there was something with him and Shanahan in the game last week, and something about him having 5 broken ribs and some other injury. Like, I don't know. But anyway, all right.
What? That's something with Shanahan?
No, there was
5 broken ribs?
I don't know. I didn't look into it deeper, but my impression was maybe Shanahan's trying to get him out there to play, and he's like, I got 5 broken ribs and something else. I don't know. So anyway, all right. And then we do have 2 Monday night games, and I guess these are at least split, like the one's early and one's late. It's not like the 1 hour difference where they're both going on at the same time. So we have the Bucks at the Lions. Lions are 5.5 point favorites. This is probably the game of the week. Obviously, the Bucks keep winning despite all the injuries. Now, it sounded like Mike Evans was going to be back, but then maybe there was something negative today about the practice report that puts that into question. The other wide receiver, Abuka, is questionable. Godwin, I'm not sure what's going on with him.
He's doubtful.
Who's doubtful?
Chris Godwin Jr., doubtful.
Yeah. Okay, what about
Bucky Irvin, doubtful. Mike Evans, questionable.
And what about the other guy, the Abuka?
Emeka?
Yeah.
Igbuka? Questionable.
So they are dealing with all these injuries. It would be nice to have Evans back. The Lions are also dealing with a lot of injuries at the cornerback position. And then Brian Branch got himself suspended for that incident with Mahomes. So he is suspended for this game. These teams did play last year, week 2. Tampa Bay won that game 20-16. This is another one where the money is heavily on the Bucs. And I do feel like, even though normally I would say, yeah, it's Baker, he's been playing so great. You got to take him and the points, but that means take the Lions.
Plus, the Lions are coming off that bad loss against the Chiefs,
yeah.
30-17, I think it was.
Yeah.
So I look for the Lions to come back hard and looking to kick ass out of somebody, and the Bucs have too many injuries. This is not just a line to be scared of at 5.5. I think the Lions win by 2 touchdowns.
All right, so we're on the same side of that one. And then the final game is the second Monday night game, Texans at Seahawks. Seahawks are 3.5-point favorites. Texans coming off a bye. They did have 2 wins right before the bye, but it was was it the Titans and the Ravens without Lamar? So I don't know how much stock you can put in that. Seahawks are 4-2 on the season. I have no strong take on this one at all. So,
You have no take?
No.
I mean, I'm going to take the Texans.
I guess I kind of expected the money to be on Seattle, and that was going to put me to the Texans. But when I looked at the splits, it was not dramatic. So that would be my only logic for really taking the Texans.
I just think this will be a barn burner, a close game. Texans are coming off a bye, so they've had a lot of time to prepare for Seattle, even though they're going up into Seattle. It's going to be a tough environment on a Monday night. But I love the hook. It's 3.5 right now. Seahawks are favored. I'll take the Texans.
All right. That'll do it for us. If you're watching, remember to like and subscribe. Peace out.
As soon as they kick